Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a genuinely fascinating piece of source material that details a massive astrological event on the horizon, the 2026 celestial shift. Specifically, we're looking at the movement of Rahu into Aquarius and Ketu into Leo. Now, even if you aren't an expert in Vedic astrology, the source material we're breaking down today offers this brilliantly structured framework for understanding the cultural, technological, and personal transformations that are predicted to hit us really soon. It's basically a roadmap for a changing world, and we're going to look exactly at what these ancient systems have to say about our highly modern future.
So I've got to ask you, are you ready for the 2026 vibe shift? Because according to these astrological predictions, a monumental shift in how we operate as a society and as individuals is coming our way. And we're not just talking about reading your daily horoscope here. This is about an overarching energetic shift that forecasters actually believe will radically alter our relationship with technology, with power, and with each other. We are literally talking about a fundamental pivot from me to we. So let's look at exactly how this is predicted to play out. Here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The 2026 celestial shift. 2. The macro society shift. 3. The micro-personal shift. And 4. Finding your cosmic balance. Let's get right to it.
Starting off with Section 1, the 2026 celestial shift, let's look at the mechanics of the stars.
The source material centers entirely around what's known as the Rahu-Ketu axis. In Vedic astrology, this is a planetary axis that shifts signs, dictating major transitions in both our collective and our personal focus. I want you to think of Rahu and Ketu as two ends of a giant seesaw. When they shift positions, the balance of the entire astrological system changes, pulling our attention completely away from certain areas of life and pushing it forcefully toward others.
And here is the exact time frame you need to keep in mind: 18. This Rahu-Ketu axis shifts signs approximately every 18 months. That's a very specific, concrete window of time. It means the predictions we're about to explore aren't these vague, decades-long trends. They are highly concentrated periods of rapid transition. For an 18-month cycle starting in 2026, the cosmic weather is going to lock into a very specific, intense pattern.
Now, what's really interesting about this core tug-of-war is the dynamic it actually creates. On one side, we have Ketu moving into Leo. Leo is historically associated with individual recognition and ego-centered leadership. But Ketu? It acts like an eraser. It diminishes or detaches us from those Leo traits. On the exact opposite side, Rahu is moving into Aquarius. Rahu is an amplifier, and Aquarius is all about collective innovation, networks, technology, and social progress. So you can really see the dynamic here, right? It's the fading energy of the solo ego pitted directly against the rising energy of collective progress.
Which brings us to Section 2, the macro society shift. Let's zoom out to the global scale.
Taking that cosmic tug-of-war to a global level, Rahu absolutely thrives in futuristic Aquarius, so astrologers are expecting a highly accelerated period of tech and social evolution. The source data predicts three major spikes here. First, a rapid advancement in AI, automation, and robotics. Essentially, digital transformation goes into complete overdrive. Second, an acceleration in social reform. Since Aquarius is heavily linked to humanitarian causes, discussions around equality, accessibility, and systemic reform are going to gain serious momentum. And third, a heightened focus on aerospace and science. It's a period strictly focused on looking up and looking forward.
But honestly, perhaps the most impactful societal prediction from the text is this: power shifts from individuals to communities. Because Ketu and Leo reduces our collective fascination with charismatic, ego-driven leaders, the amplified Aquarius energy pushes our interest toward decentralized systems. We are looking at a predicted shift where online movements, decentralized networks, and collective action begin to hold significantly more sway than any single individual personality at the top.
All right, Section 3, the micro-personal shift. Let's bring this down to your daily life.
So, how does this actually affect you when you wake up and check your phone? Well, the source notes a super fascinating personal ripple effect. Celebrity culture faces a reality check. With Ketu moving through Leo, which is the sign of fame and status, our desire to validate external image-based success really drops. Public attention is predicted to become much more critical of personality-driven influence. On a personal level, this means your own desire for external validation or for chasing that main character status might suddenly feel very unfulfilling or just kind of irrelevant.
So the crucial point is how this alters the future of your work and your life. The source outlines 4 major personal predictions here. First up, collaborative networking will completely overshadow solo achievement. Your professional growth is really going to depend on your communities and alliances. Second, unconventional career paths will suddenly become the norm. Think digital entrepreneurship, the creator economy, startups. Third, your friendships are going to transform. Long-standing social connections that just don't serve you anymore might fade away, replaced by new relationships that align with your future goals and shared ideals. And finally, expect sudden breakthroughs, but specifically through group projects or industry networks, rather than just grinding away alone in a corner.
Moving into our final section, finding your cosmic balance. How do we navigate all of this?
To successfully navigate this 18-month window, the source material provides a brilliant little cheat sheet. On one side, Rahu in Aquarius demands that we embrace innovation, technology, and collective growth. But to do that successfully, we have to master the counterbalance, Ketu and Leo. We have to actively detach from ego, reduce our need for constant validation, let go of our pride, and cultivate humility and quiet inner confidence. You simply cannot fully step into the collective future of Aquarius if you're still clinging to the prideful, status-obsessed past of Leo. Now you might be wondering who is going to feel this the absolute most. Well, according to astrologers, if you have strong placements in these 4 signs, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, or if you're currently in a Rahu or Ketu planetary period, you are essentially in the crosshairs of this transit. The shifts in community, career, and ego will likely feel highly amplified for you over those 18 months.
But here is the ultimate takeaway, right directly from the source text. Those who combine personal excellence with service to larger groups may experience the most productive outcomes. This is absolutely crucial. The central lesson of this axis is not about destroying your individuality. It's not about becoming a faceless drone in a collective hive mind. It is all about equilibrium. It's about taking your unique, excellent Leo talents and directing them outward for the collective Aquarian benefit. Which leaves us with this final, really vital question to ponder as we approach the 2026 celestial shift. How will you use your individual excellence to serve the collective? As the ego fades and the network rises, your greatest success isn't going to come from standing alone on a pedestal, but from how effectively you can lift up the community around you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep this framework in mind as we head into the next 18 months. It's going to be a truly fascinating ride.